Alright guys, welcome to the first tutorial from Mason Barber, SynchronicityCubed. Yeah, today's tutorial is going to be on depth of field in Cinema 4D. It's a really cool effect that you can see going on here, where you can, there's a part of it that's part of your photo that's in focus, and then there's a part that's out of focus at the back and at the front. Yeah, it's pretty much just the same in real photos. If you take it within DSLR with a low f-stop, then you kind of get the same kind of thing, and it makes it look just more realistic and kind of more professional. In Cinema 4D, that's pretty much what you want. Yeah, so this is my example that I just mocked up just in like a couple of minutes, so we should be able to get through that pretty easily. Yeah, you can use it with anything really, and you can add it to any of your Cinema 4D documents that you've already done to make intros and everything just look kind of more professional. You can animate it so you can make the focal point move backwards and forwards, and yeah, and there's all kinds of things you can do with it. Anyway, let's open a new document in Cinema. Right, we're going to start with just getting those cubes. So just get the cube, scale it down. Monograph, clone object, chuck the cube in the clone object. Grid array. I'm not going to go into any detail about the cloner object or anything really, just because it's not really what the tutorial on. But if there's anything I do in this tutorial that you guys want to know how to do, and about global illumination, please just ask in the comments, and then I'll see what I can do. Right, now we've made the cubes, we'll just make a floor. If we move the cubes up, just different kind of falling. Now I'm just going to add rigid body tags just to floor around the thing, just to get some bounce. Tap the friction a bit, just make it nicer, kind of full. Does that look right? Yeah. Let's spin this around. That should be fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Right. Now, what you need for depth of field is firstly a camera, so that's in the light menu here, and then the camera. And there's a little button here that enables the view from the camera, so when you turn around, it's like looking at a camera. And you're seeing what the camera's seeing, that's exactly what we need. Now, to make this easier for depth of field, if we may go into the different view menu, and the top view is kind of what you need, unless you're doing some different sizes. Yeah, so what we need to change is in the attributes menu, the camera. If you just select the camera here and then go into depth, we can change the target distance, that is where we want the camera to be focused on. So in this one, we kind of want it to be around here. And as you see, once you go closer in, the focus distance gets a lot shorter. We go out, you see it gets a lot bigger. So if we have it around here, so yeah. That looks fine. Now I want to tick box these two options, that's the front blur and the rear blur. Let's see, come up with these extra boxes, that is where you want the blur to start or kind of finish, but get as much as blurry as it is going to ever be. So here it's going to be in focus, here it starts the gradient, and then here it gets fully blurry, and then of course the same with the front. Actually, I might just move this back a bit. Yeah, that looks about fine. Right, now what we need to do is go into our render settings that I've got here. But render settings is this button here. It'll bring up this little dialog. Effects, and then depth of field. And then pretty much there's all these different settings here, but we're not going to go into any detail because you don't really need them to make the basic effect. All we need to worry about is blur strength there. So moving this up and down would of course make it more or less blurry in the places that we've specified. Right, if we now render this, it looks absolutely horrible. You can start to see a bit of blur coming on these last ones and to the closer ones. That's not actually that blurry, so you can probably put up the blur strength and maybe even move this back one in a little bit. If we see what that looks like when we render that. You see it renders it first, then applies the depth of field afterwards. Yeah, that's not looking too bad actually. Just move this round a bit. So that looks a bit better. Yeah, That's looking fine actually. Move it in a little bit closer and then we'll make this thing slightly nicer than default lighting and grey cubes. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so now you can see there's the middle bits in focus, the front bit's out of focus, and the back bit's out of focus. Right, okay, let's make a texture, some reflection. In my little original one, they're all orange, so we're going to try some orange again. Just make them a little bit reflective. Have about 4%. For now, we can boost up to about 15 or so percent. Chuck that on. Now we want to go into global illumination, turn up the camera a little bit, and turn down my iridance cache because we don't want very long render times. Just going to chuck in a sky. If there's anything here that's confusing you guys or you want to know more about, then please just comment in the please just tell me in the comments, and then I'll make tutorials on whatever you guys really need to know. Right, if we render this now. Let's do the iridance cache, then render, slowing down the render time, sorry about this. As you can see, the reflections coming on, bit of shadowing around where it's hitting the floor, and then when it's rendered, it will start to put on the depth of field. It will look a lot nicer now, it doesn't look horrible default lighting. Yeah, you can kind of see that the front bit's out of blurred, and then the back bit's blurred, and the middle bit's not blurred. It's a pretty basic effect, but it definitely does make it look a lot more professional. If we just turn this up a bit, it's not particularly orange. Make it a little bit darker. That should be fine. Yeah, that's pretty much how to use the effect. Pretty much it's just the camera, then you change the settings in depth, and then you put it on the render settings, and that's all you need to remember. Yeah, you can use this effect in literally anything. It just makes it look more professional and more realistic. That's really useful. I'm just going to chuck in a softbox from the Grayscale Gorilla lighting kit. Just makes it look a little bit nicer. There we go. If we just get this rendered, that will take a lot longer to render because softbox starts adding a lot more detail and shadowing to it. But yeah, you get the kind of gist. There's the in-focus bit and the out-of-focus bit. Yeah, okay, thanks a lot guys for watching. If you like the video, then please subscribe. If you guys want a setup video of my desk and my iMac and stuff, then please comment or like the video, because then I'll kind of get a feeling that you guys want to see my stuff. Yeah. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to. And I'll put the finished product in the end of the video. Right, thanks guys, bye.